morning, good afternoon, good evening. How is everybody? Welcome to another episode of Roll Around, Find Out. In today's episode, we've got a really special guest today. Me. Going solo as I usually do. I've been very lucky. I've had 2 interviews with creators lately. But in thinking of topics, I wanted to go back through my drivethrurpg and kind of go over the things that I've got posted, download them, see what I like about them, what I hate about them, probably a lot that I hate about them, and go through my progression as a game designer of sorts. I've been really wanting to make a tinny dungeon. I mentioned this in my last episode. Tinny dungeon at sea. Let's see if I'm spelling it right. Here we go. Just for me, maybe I posted somewhere for sale, but most likely for me, I want to make something like this. Just, oh yeah, look at this video. It's exactly everything I want right now in life. We got this cute little tin, these simple rule cards, character sheet. I mentioned this before, $33. I'm sure you get a lot. I mean, look at all these cards. Look at that cute pencil. It even has custom tinny dungeon on it. I'm sure it's worth every penny. But for me, like $10 tops, if I were to ever sell it, is where I think I would want to be at. But I just love the tactile tin. It fits in your pocket. It's protected. I'm all about it right now. Okay. So I've got tabs all over, unorganized like you wouldn't believe. But before we jump in, I'm going to bury the lead like I do and talk about my summer school Dungeons and Dragons Club. Kicked off this week Monday. I've got lots of repeat students. So in my school district, there's 1 high school, 2 middle schools, and we just closed 2 elementaries, but I believe we have 3 elementaries, maybe a 4th if I'm missing one. So I work at 1 middle school, and at our other middle school, I work with 1 other person there, but I don't know many other people there. I know at one point in time they had a Dungeons and Dragons club, but then they lost it, so I'm not quite sure where they're at, long story short. So when summer rolls around, I have kids that show up, and I don't know what experience they have, but I know that they have some experience with D&D, and that's awesome because I feel like if they haven't already been a GM, summer is the perfect opportunity to rock it. Each class is an hour long, and so they only have to prep for an hour. And for those listening, you might have already mastered this technique, but you don't have to prep a lot to get a lot, especially in a 1-hour session. This dungeon that I've got loaded up here, Door Guitar Dungeon, I'm using it as just a little bit of a guide. This is already pre-written for me, but I have a goal where I'm trying not to look at the paper. I'm trying to be fully engaged into what the players are talking about. And so this one dungeon has already given me 2 hours worth of content. And they're not even Well, I'm running 2 groups. One group is about halfway. One is not. They've only been in 3 rooms, 3 of the 8, and so kind of lost my track of the other middle school. The point is, I've got, I think, 18 kids in one class and I think 14 kids in another class. And so the Dungeons and Dragons, or role-playing games, I guess, is growing in my district. Through both middle schools have clubs, and I've been running my summer school club now for I think 3 years. This might be my 4th year. I'd have to go back and think. And I can only imagine it's gonna be at the high school soon enough. I just lost a bunch of 8th graders going to the middle school that I've had since 5th grade in Dungeons and in the D&D club. And so I'm going to bet there's one kid in particular. I may have mentioned him, Asher. He like jumped into DM the second year, and he DM'd his 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade year. And I don't see it stopping. So pretty exciting. Okay. Anyways, rambling. It's what I do. Welcome to my show. I'm the guest today. I'm the host and the guest, so I get to call all the shots. Okay. Now, with my club, I'm always trying to get kids to run a table. Yes, they want to have fun and they want to be players, but I think at least to grow my club selfishly, I need to get more kids involved in the GMing process. And so I'm giving them resources as best I can. I've talked about this numerous times. I need kid-friendly resources. And so I have this in my repertoire of stuff, the Dorgatar Dungeon, and it couldn't be more simple. It's got an amazing layout. When I say amazing, I mean like simple and easy to understand. It's got easy and identifiable rooms. I'll just read room 1 here. In the center of this room is a shallow fountain surrounded by carved stones. The water looks surprisingly clear, but the area smells like goblin feces, so the water might not be safe to drink. Several scraps of tattered clothes and a rusty dagger are lying on the floor. Okay, room 1. You've got my visuals. You're telling me that there's a shallow fountain, carved stone, water, clear. You've got taste, that it might not be safe to drink. We've got smell, smells like feces, and we've got intrigue, that there's cloth and a rusty dagger on the floor. I know I just repeated it, but you're triggering my senses, and if I'm a kid, I'm going to instantly want to pick up that dagger, check it out. GM, if you can think on the spot, come up with a story on it. Is there blood? Is it ornate? Is there appear to be a jewel? Does it appear that there used to be a jewel on it and it looks like it's been removed? Underneath the description, it says 1d20 SP silver. What does it say? What it is? It doesn't say. Must be silver piece. I'm dumb. Silver piece per PC at the bottom of the fountain. Okay, great. Encouraging your players to investigate the room. Also, if the PC drinks the water, they must pass a Constitution check or suffer 1d4 damage. You tell the players that the water might not be safe to drink. You're going to get somebody that's going to want to drink the water. You tell them not to do it, they're going to do it. And so once you say, all right, roll the save, kids, oh, I told you don't drink the water. It's great. Love it. Okay. So without going over this whole thing, for me personally, the 2 tables that I'm running, as I said, my goal is to not look at the paper. I'm using my easy made-up roleplay system, which we'll talk about. And day 1 on Monday, characters were made in about 20 minutes for a table of 3 and 6. I think that's pretty good, especially the 6 table. 6, and these are young kids. These are, well, let's see. One group is 6th, 7th, and 8th. Or no, must be 7th and 8th, and then 5th and 6th. That's what it is. 5th and 6th, 7th and 8th. Okay, got it. Yep. And for 5th graders, the table I'm running of 6 is all 5th graders. So 6 5th graders in 20 minutes to each have characters made. I think that's great. I've talked about this before, but when I was new to the hobby and all I knew was D&D, yeah, right. Am I going to get 6 5th graders to make a 5th edition character? Okay, what's your race? What's your class? Are you proficient in this weapon? Here's your spell list. No way. 20 minutes, they're in and ready to play. I'm patting myself on the back. I've made big strides. Okay, so I've talked about it before. I kind of have 2 names for the module, but it's either the Druid's Disdain or the Wizard's... What do I call it here? I have 2 names for it. I even did an episode on it. Wizard's Watch. And I ran this for my friends Joel, Grizz, and Jeff, and they loved it. Joel the Mighty gave me good feedback on it. He said he loved it. Loved playing it. So, in the Wizard's Watch, they are part of the Journeyman's Guild on a mission to go and help a town. So, like, literally 2 minutes before we're about to run this game, I've got this door guitar dungeon in front of me, and I'm like, okay, I can't just, like, plop them in a dungeon. They have to have a reason to be there. And I eventually want to run the Wizard's Watch and have them go and run the adventure, but it just didn't make sense with these completely new kids to the hobby to just say, okay, you're part of the Journeyman's Guild. Now go do this. I thought, like, they need some background to earn the right to be in the guild. So, this door guitar dungeon is the initiation to get into the guild. Then I'll run a Wizard's Watch, Druid's Disdain. Same thing. Okay, so again, my goal is to... I haven't even read this whole thing, well, at least in a while. And so for my group of 3, they're further along. I had said, okay, your initiation is to go to the well on the edge of town because it reeks of goblin poop. Got that right from the adventure. And so they know right away, oh my God, I do not want to go down there. Why would I go down there? Well, 2 reasons. 1, you get into the guild. 2, you're promised gold. Okay? Also, some kid had mentioned, well, I don't really want gold. Okay, well, there's also treasure down there. There could be. There's potential for treasure down there. All right? Now, what he doesn't know is that there is treasure, and when he brings it back, the guild has to give the guild 20. He has to pay his tax on it. All right? There's give and take. All right? So, they've explored this room. In here, room 3, there's blood on the floor, and I get a little wary with that, especially with 5th graders. You don't want to scare them. They go home. Yeah, my teacher, we played this Dungeons and Dragons game and there was blood everywhere. It gets distorted and blown out of proportion. So there were goblin teeth there. And first thing they do is get to the well, and then they have to find a way to get down the well. Most of them have rope in their backpack. One person wants to be a heavy magic user, so he had his utility spell to teleport, and he teleported to the bottom. Great, perfect. Everybody else used rope. Okay, yeah. Let me back it up. This is the joy of working with middle school kids and the system that we'll talk about here, my made-up role-playing game. Okay, I've talked about this before if you've listened to my previous episodes. This kid named Zane. Zane is new to role-playing games. He was in my Dungeons and Dragons club during the school year. I didn't want to go through the 5th edition rigmarole, so I said, okay, here's my easy made-up role-playing game. Tell me, what do you want your character to be? What do you want them to be good at? And he said, my character is bread. A loaf of bread. A, what's the word? Sentient loaf of bread. Okay, well, what does that mean? Let's figure it out. Okay, so, in my table of 3, my slightly older kids, they're going into 7th grade. They're very normal adventurers. 2 of them are in my D&D club. One of them is new. And so they're very traditional adventurers. My younger kids, all right, from left to right, we have, literally his name is NYPD. And he has all of the power and resources of the New York Police Department. Okay, great. After that, we have literally Thor. Thor with Mjolnir and Stormbreaker. He's got both of them. Okay, great. Next to him, we have a dragon. Okay, now, not Dragonborn, but a literal dragon. And this girl has a twin sister also in the group, and they're very funny. This one, I'm getting the impression, is kind of like the alpha of the table. She's, even if I'm not looking at her, she's the first one to talk. And so me as the GM, I'm trying to get other voices. But she knew, she's quick, that, oh, okay, we have to go to this well. I'm a big dragon. I can't fit down the well. So all of a sudden, she has this magic orb in her backpack that she can change size as often as she wants. So I said, okay, well, it can't be as often as you want. You have 6 magic spells for the day. You can do it up to 6 times per day. And she was fine with it. Totally cool with that. Okay. Then we have Violet, who used to be Derek, who, what was she Monday? I forget. But today she was a fairy, a flying fairy. Okay. And then while she changed her character, Thor realized he didn't want to be Thor anymore. He's going to be Kung Fu Panda. Okay, great. So draw up a new character sheet. Great. Okay, that's fine. All right. Then after Violet, Derek the fairy, then we have kind of a normal adventurer. No, not true. This girl is a bumblebee. She's small. She can fly. Okay, great. And then let's see. Okay, let's see. New York Police Department, Thor, Dragon, Violet, Bumblebee, and who am I missing? Oh yeah, the other sister, the other twin, and her character name is, oh yeah, Ducky, and she's a duck. Okay. That's what I'm working with here. Okay. Who am I to say no? Okay, so for both groups, again, not really even looking at this dungeon, using it as a very casual guide. They get down there, they see the goblin teeth, and then they go into a room with an altar, and there are embalmer tools on there. They just know it as tools, but if they roll, then I gave them descriptions of, like, it's kind of like a hook, which, yeah, I know, even though I just said, like, I can't do blood, like, yeah, mummifying, which, in my defense, in 6th grade, they do a project on ancient Egypt, and they study mummies, so get off my back, internet. So there's like the prep room, and then I did use, let's see, what room number is it here? Number 5. Yeah, number 5. Okay. Number 5 here reads, this small square chamber is empty. The floor is covered in a thick layer of dust. Footprints in the dust lead towards the southeast corner. So, my groups have made it to this room and just past this room, but this is where the adventure is going to end for them. My group of 3, they're further along. They made it to... Okay, so back it up. I'm excited. They saw the footprints going to one room, so they went to the other room and lit a torch, and there are 3 sarcophaguses in there, and they are really ornate, filled with jewels, very valuable. They are short. They are easily recognized as goblin mummies. Okay, so then one kid almost touched it. The magic user, he was going to use telekinesis to lift one of the sarcophaguses and open it up and see what's inside. And so another girl is like, no, don't do it. You can't do it. Don't touch it. We don't know what's going on here. Don't touch him. So he didn't. And so they walked back, and then they were about to go into the room with the footprints, and then 2 red eyes started glowing. They kind of freaked out. What are we going to do? And the magic user kid said, well, I'm going to go in. I'm going to see what's going on here. Like, we have to join the guild. We got to do it. So goes in, and it's this goblin bard looking character. And she's kind of standoffish, but realizes, hey, I've been watching you. You went into the sarcophagus room. I almost attacked you. I didn't, because you didn't touch them. So they were rewarded for that good decision. They're like, okay, great, thank you. They became friends with, Shank is this goblin's name. And so as a token of friendship, Shank Gives one of the players this little coin that, written in goblin, says friend. They take it back to the guild. They leave. They take it back to their guild. And I'm like, okay, well, we can go one of 2 ways here. We can say you were successful and you're in the guild, or add another layer to it. And so the head guild master came out and was like, we told you to investigate it and take care of the threat. And here you are telling me that you befriended the goblin. We're going to send other troops down there and take care of this. And also they said that there was a sarcophagus. And so the guild master is like, oh, there's treasure down there? How dare you leave treasure down there? So in the next couple sessions going forward for that group, they are going to work with the goblins, and I'm getting the sense that they want to help the goblin. And so they're going to, I imagine, find a way to turn the guild in favor of the goblins as well. There's going to be a bugbear attack on the town, and so they need the goblins' help. The goblins and the guild have to work together to stop the bugbear attack. That's that group. That's probably how the second group is going to go with the 6 kids. But here's a little secret about teaching. First hour class is your worst class. You teach, you make mistakes, you realize the links that you thought were going to work didn't work. So hour 2 comes by and it's better. By the third hour, you've got it mastered. So my second group of 6 kids, they show up and I realize, oh, you know what? We haven't had a combat in a while. We haven't had any like action. It's all been story based. So there wasn't, if they would have touched the sarcophagus, the second group also did not touch it. Well, correction. They touched it, but they didn't do anything. They just touched it. The goblin Shank would have leaped out and they would have had a combat, but they didn't really do anything aggressive towards it. But I'm like, we gotta up it, the action a little bit. So Ducky, she went to the path where the footprints weren't, where the sarcophaguses were. And I said, you know what? It's time for a trap. So, it was a pressure plate trap and, she stepped on it, but, we rolled, I guess what would be perception, and she rolled a 6, the highest on the dice. And so I said, okay, you know that you're on the pressure plate. You don't know what's going to happen, but you know something's going to happen when you get off of it. All right. Well, love this game. Love it. Thor steps in, says, hey, I've got my hammer. It can hold anything down. Puts it on the pressure plate. Trap doesn't go off. Great. Perfect. So now Ducky is thinking, oh, there's going to be another trap in here. I better fly. I don't want to trigger another pressure plate. Well, made her roll again. She flew into a spider web, which triggered 2 scythes that came down and hurt her, and she was not happy to be the first person to take damage. But I think they have 12 hit points, and she lost, I think it was 7 hit points. So it was pretty big damage. I was thinking about having it, but I was like, no. We need to give OSR, baby. Give us that threat. All right. If they're still at max health, they're going to be just doing everything like they're gods. So, let it sting a little bit. I didn't want her to die. If I would have rolled 2 6s, that would have been her max health point. Then I would have halved it. But she's like, well, I've got a healing potion in my backpack. So, you can use it now. You can use it later. Whatever. So she used it. And I think she got 4 back. All right. So that's where we're at. That's I went into a bigger tangent than I thought, but I'm excited. Summer school D&D is going well. I may have mentioned this in the past and kind of sort of in the vein of what I mentioned today. I'll run a table. That's fine. I don't want to run a table though, because I want kids to have the confidence to do it. But especially in my younger group, they have no experience. You can't just tell a newbie, like, even this dungeon, Dorgatar dungeon, like, hey, run it. You gotta show them. You gotta lead by example. So I imagine the 6 kids that I'm working with, probably the alpha twin sister, will want to run a table. She'll want to make a story, and it's going to be great. So, okay, not quite yet at the main topic. Dorgatar Dungeon leads me to another great resource. I've looked at these a long time ago. I think Dorgatar Dungeon's the only one that I give kids that has a pre-made layout, because I think, let me go hit forward here. I think these descriptions are short enough and middle school friendly enough that they can run it. A lot of these other ones, like if I were to, okay, let's click this one. It's not necessarily that much more words, but it's enough, and the layout and the jargon, I don't think this one would work. But so on Pinterest, I love and hate Pinterest. It's an interesting, can I say, social media platform? I don't know. My good friend John, I have a reminder in my phone for like 2029 or something. He says Pinterest is gonna go bankrupt, no longer exist. But do yourself a favor, go search up one-page dungeons, and go find one thing in here that you can use at your table. Okay? I'm gonna spend the next 3-4 hours of my life trying to find one or two more that I can use with kids in my club or summer school class. Okay. All right. Here we go. Main topic. Here we go. We're going to check out Roll Around, Find Out, Publisher Hub. That's right. Roll Around, Find Out podcast. Roll Around, Find Out, Publisher. I do it all. So let's go with what I believe was my very, very first upload. Underknave Skillhack. Let me see if I can, like I said, and you know by now, me prepared. Yeah, right. Let's do Underknave. Let's see what comes up. Skillhack, free August 26th. Here we go. Okay. I have in my hand, actually, the second edition of Knave. And the art, let me pull up here. Second edition Knave is actually on the drive-thru homepage. So sorry. drivethrurpg homepage, and there it is. Knave second edition. $20 for the PDF. I will say it is worth $10. The physical copy, I forget what I paid, $40 probably for it. Worth probably $30. The art on here is phenomenal. I forget, let's see if they mention it here. Art. Peter Mullen. Great artist. The quality of the print is phenomenal. I like the original Knave better. I think the character creation is a little clunky. And of the 80 pages, I'm not lying, the rules are on the first 2. Character creation, which used to be probably 2, is closer to like 6 now-ish, about. And then the rest are like random tables. There's even like character name random table, eye color random table. I think I talked about this in a previous podcast, but it is like fluff stuff that you do not need. Also, rolling for stats is different. I'm gonna be super unprofessional, and I'm gonna go. Be right back. Hang on. All right. Let me think. I'd edit that out. Yeah, right. Okay. Knave. Opening up the physical book here. What did I just reviewed something, and I said the art was like Shel Silverstein. Kind of, sort of like that. It's black and white, very simplistic, but totally sets the mood. All right. Game master duties, player duties. Nobody really reads those. These are like for total newbies. Okay. Let's see. I said 6 pages. Let's see. Ability scores, PC creation, careers. Okay, silence, right? You just love silence. That's really good professional. Okay. Okay, there is a bestiary, which the first one was missing, so I appreciate that. All right, I've got it here though. From page 9 to 59. 50 pages of the 80 of random tables. Let's see, I saw equipment, horses, magic. All right, I'm over exaggerating. Okay, spells, combat. Okay. All right. 30. I'm going to say 30 pages of the 80 are random tables. Liabilities, relationships, mannerisms, personalities, professions, goals, in name, food traits. Okay. Food traits? Really? Sausage, sautéed, seared, seasoned, shredded, simmered, slow cooked, smoked, soup, sour, spiced. I mean, Ben Milton, did you just punch in ChatGPT what are random tables I could have in my game, and then just give me 100 things for that? I'm not a fan. All right, but what I came for here is the ability scores. Going off on a tangent, burying the lead, I know. Okay, Knave zine format. Is this the one? This is not the one I like. Let's go spreads. Oh, that's second edition. Okay. Okay, well actually I can read off of that, I guess. Okay. Knave 2, Knave, Underknave, copy of Knave. Knave. Alright, well I guess let's do the one I don't like. Zine format. Okay, let's find character creation. Oh yeah, okay, this is what I like. Okay, so they have the standard 5th edition stats, but you roll 3d6. However, the lowest dice of the 3 dice on each roll is that ability's bonus. So if you roll 3d6, okay, I've talked about this before in my Knave review. This was a terrible number example, but you roll a 2, a 2, and a 6 for your strength stat. The lowest dice is a 2, so your PC strength has a bonus of +2 and a defense of 12. Defense is a savings throw. This savings throw here was my first thought of, oh yeah, Knave should totally be a roll under. Okay, so all that really matters here is you roll 3 dice, and whatever your lowest dice is, that's your ability modifier. So when you go roll strength, then you'll add, for this example, you'll add 2, right? And then you can level up and that can increase more. Okay, well, let's see how they changed it for Knave, 2nd edition. Because maybe I'm just talking out of my butt, but I remember not liking it. Okay, equipment, spellcasting checks. Oh, is this different? Abilities? No, it's not. Okay. Tables. Game Master. PC creation, okay? Record ability scores. Distribute 3 points between your PC's ability scores. More than 1 point can be placed in the same score. Or let fate decide by rolling 3d6, with each die adding 1 to the ability score, matching the number it rolled. What? Okay, so first of all, for speed, I get it. Here, you got 3 points, 6 stats. Put the points where you want them. All right, I get it. That is literally the fastest you can do it. But, or let fate decide by rolling 3d6, with each die adding 1 to the ability score, matching the matching the number it rolled. Okay, hang on. Check this out. Example, rolling 3-5-5 means Constitution, the third ability, 1, 2, 3, labeled here, is 1, and the Wisdom, the fifth ability, is 2. All other abilities have a score of 0. That is terrible character creation, if you ask me. If you love it, more power to you. It's your table, your style. I hated that. I like the rolling, and then the lowest dice is your modifier. If I ever run Knave, I'm gonna run it first edition style. It's slower, but more flavorful, if you ask me. Okay. Another thing that speeds up character creation in Knave 1, this is turning into a Knave 2nd edition review, was you had to roll for your stuff. There was like 2 or 3 paragraphs that said, okay, roll a d20 once at this table and twice on this table, and that's your starting gear. Like your backpack stuff. Here, you can roll and take a career, and careers have predetermined things that you would need in your career. So for a boatman, a 10-foot pole, an instrument, and a paddle. Okay? Totally get it. Speed and flavor. That's good. That's great. Okay. All right. There's a wonder why I only have 11 subscribers. But hey, I love you. You're the best. Sticking through all the shenanigans I do here. Okay, back to what actually matters here, though. My Underknave. Okay. Underknave takes most inspiration from Knave by Ben Milton. Every PC is an Underknave, a tomb raiding, adventure-seeking ne'er-do-well. That's right from Knave. Abilities are king. All D20s use the 6 standard abilities. What's unique about this version is that skill rolls are roll under, where the goal is for players to roll under their stats. Player-facing rolls. Underknave's designed for players to do all the rolling, from skill checks to attacks and even blocking. Super cool feature. I don't remember where I first learned of player-facing, but I love it. Okay, let's go through character creation. Players roll 3d6, take the lowest number and subtract that from 10. Assign that number to any stat and repeat for every stat. Roll 3d6 and add 10 for starting coppers. Okay. Roll 3d6, take the lowest number and subtract that from 10. So let's say my lowest number was 3. Subtract that from 10. So then I have 7 for a stat. And my goal is to roll under 7. Roll on the starting gear tables on the following page to determine starting armor and equipment. PCs also start with 2 days of rations and 1 weapon of their choice. That comes exactly from Knave. Roll 1d8 to determine your PC's starting and maximum hit points. Oh, I don't know how Knave 2 does it. Hit points. Let's see. Name and describe your character using the tables. wounds. PCs have 10 plus constitution items. Okay, no. Damage a PC receives is subtracted from their HP. Once their HP reaches 0, each point of damage fills an item slot. Alright, that I like, but where is the first instance of HP? Control F. Oh, nope. Control F. HP. Damage is subtracted from HP. Yeah. Direct damage, death, healing. Wasting your time. Oh, okay. Yeah, reading is really hard because I looked at this paragraph like 15 times and I was like, no. Record secondary stats. Those are stats. That's not your life. PCs start at level 1 with 0 XP. They have 10 plus con item slots, page 6, and D6 starting and maximum hit points. Okay, there we go. You start with a D6. So I went with a D8. I'm just so freaking nice to my players. Okay, just looking at this review, definitely amateur, not nearly as put together as Knave, especially second edition. Skill rolls, I think those make sense. I went over how you get your stat and you roll that D20 to get under. Something that I think... Yeah, here we go. This was kind of like the beginning of my criticals. My love for criticals and how that can really add flavor to your character. Critical blocks and dodges. Critical attacks. Critical blocks. Advancement. Okay, here is where I think I did a really good job here in advancing. All right, when you're at level 0, you've got your starting stats. And then you can level up to a novice, an apprentice, a veteran, and a master. But just the first time at level 0, you pick only one column per level, if any. Novice. No apprentice skill may be taken without previously taking a novice skill, the one before it, and so on. And your stats cap at 15. Looking at a spider crawl down from my ceiling. Great, love it. All right, you start at level 0, then you go and level up to level 1. You roll for one stat. If you roll over, let me get this right here. When a PC gains a level, they roll a d20 to increase 1 or 2 stats. See the chart? If the result is higher than the current stat, it increases by 1. A DM may award a player an automatic skill gain by quality roleplay, repeated successful usage of a skill, learning from an NPC, etc. All right. I don't remember what system I stole that from, but I think that's super awesome. Leveling up is not guaranteed, and the more your stats increase, the harder it is to boost a stat, to level up. If you are a little kid, you're learning so much all the time, but once you become a master, there's not much more left to learn. All right. And then these progress. You can roll for 2 separate stats. Then you get the skills. And these skills are like feats in D&D. You can choose a skill, and you could become novice, apprentice, veteran, and master. And what does a skill mean? Well, here we've got novice. You can -1 to your strength roll when you have a sword. On a successful hit, you deal an additional 1d4. I can't remember the timeline. I don't think I had gotten into the one I talk about all the time, Omega Fantasy 2, but I like here that you've got this feat that helps your roll and deals extra damage. So that's just a minor bonus. It gives you a 5% increased chance of success on your roll and a little bit more damage. When we get to the master section, when you're really leveled up, -3 to your strength roll, you got a 15% increased chance of being successful. You continue a second action. So here you gained one at veteran. Now you continue it. On a successful hit, you deal an additional 1d8 damage, and attack rolls are critical hit at 3 or less when rolled under strength. Because I think rolling a 1 is critical. So now you crit on a 1, a 2, or or 3 or less. Yeah, 1, 2, or 3. So you have a 15% chance of criticaling. All right. Swordsmanship, knivesmanship, dual weapon wield, archery, wizardry, scholarly insight and diplomacy, stealth, healing and poison, lockpicking and keymaking, survival, athletics, alchemy and herbalism, traps, enchanting, artificer, beast mastery, riding, music, engineering, knuckle brawling, financial acumen, shield mastery. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 things you can do to specialize your character. You can choose to stick in one path. You can go from novice to apprentice to veteran to master. That is the what's the phrase? The min-max way to do it. Just stick on one track. But you can take a novice in this skill and then go novice and apprentice in this skill. You can bounce around. It's totally up to you. I think I did really well with this Underknave. I like the roll under. I like the skills. But 90% of the workload goes to Ben Milton with Knave. It's totally in the Creative Commons to hack it, and so he definitely gave me the base, and I tweaked it to how I think it should be. So go check out Underknave. Pay what you want. drivethrurpg. All right. Next. Let me go. Oh, must be here. Let's go to. All right. Easy made up role playing game. I've talked about that a lot tonight. But I'm going to come back to it because I have a second edition. All right. This was my first business card RPG, and this is atrocious. I'm going to download my own stuff. That's fine. Oh yeah, and this Delve game I'm gonna check out. Ew, am I gonna pay myself money? $0. Well, let me delete it. Unbelievable. Oh, it did update. You know. Okay, hang on. I got it. Does the internet have it? Let me do it. All right, $0. Here we go. I think I'm gonna buy 1,000 of them and then bump my sales. I sold 1,000 of these. OMG. Okay, so upon further inspection, oh no, ooh, yikes, that came out of nowhere. All right, here is my BC RPG, business card RPG, and it's terrible. I'm gonna keep it up there. Go check it out. Go download it. Form your own opinion. But, all right. We've got stats. Strength, speed, street, scroll. Love a good alliteration. I love that they're all S's. In here, it tells you what they all do. What am I holding? Right hand, left hand. My backpack. I'm good at, I'm bad at, my goals, my health, and my armor reduction. Character name, what more do you need? Right? Pretty straightforward. We got skills, we got what I'm holding, what I'm carrying, and goals and motivations. Perfect. Okay? All right. That's not bad. What is bad is the back. OMG. All right. It's just too much. It's too much. 3 columns, and I had to add a 4th column. It's just, for a business card, too much. But we'll break it down. All right. It's a percentage-based roll under. Probably I was just obsessed with Mothership, and I'm like, how can I make a fantasy roll under Mothership, because that uses D100s. So let's see if it's at least coherent. Is it a game? Could you play it? Roll 5d10 4 times. Add 30 for something you're good at. Add 20 for something you're okay at. Subtract 10 for something you're bad. No at. Nice typo, Heath. Okay. Definitely need more words to understand what that means. Roll 5d10 4 times. You need to put in there and add the stat to the sheet. Right? Combat. First action is free, then reduce stats the following ways. This comes from Bare Bones Fantasy. Major action. Attack, athletic move, block, dodge, 20% penalty. Okay, I guess. Athletic move, 20% penalty to what stat? Okay, minor action. Talk, interact, reload, 10% penalty. Penalties stack across every stat. Example, second attack equals 20% penalty to strength. Dodge 2, 40% penalty to speed. Okay, all right. I did it. I had a problem and I solved it there. Weapon damage, 1d5. I describe it as 1d10 divided by 2. Light weapon, 1d10 plus 1. Medium weapon, 1d10 plus 3. Perfect, okay. Range, got that right out of Mothership. Close, nearby, far. How to play. Melee attack, roll under strength. Ranged attack, roll under speed. Spell attack, roll under scroll smarts. Talking, looking, roll under street smarts. Advantages. Roll twice, keep higher or lower number per GM. Higher would be disadvantage. Lower would be advantage. Okay. Health, half your strength. Okay, yeah, sure. So far, my least favorite part is describing where the numbers go for you, for what you roll for stats. Melee weapon usage. If strength is 20 or higher, you can use a light weapon. Okay, all right. You know what? I don't need to go through all of this. It's just too much for a business card RPG. My last episode was on micro RPGs, and I had said that I want bang for your buck. Well, I think this is bust for your buck. Like, I had this realization, nobody is ever going to want a business card RPG and want all of these rules. If I've never mentioned this before, roll for shoes. Maybe I just mentioned it in my micro RPG podcast, but this is what you are going for a business card RPG. There are 6 rules. Now, that's misleading, but okay. Say what you do and roll a number of D6s determined by the level of relevant skill you have. Well, under, what is it, extras here, there is some explanation to what that actually means, which is no. Where is it? Depending on the scenario. No. Well, waste so much time. New skills should be more specific than the skill rolled and relevant to the action taken. In Rule 6, for advancement purposes only means you can only spend XP, after you roll, you can immediately... No. Alright, well, I thought I would have a better explanation here, but basically is at the beginning of Roll for Shoes, when you are a nothing character, level 0, you roll to do something. I want to investigate the table. Then, oh, you know what? Oh my god, Heath, read. Just read. Okay, let me read these 6 rules, because it's in the explanation here. Okay. Say what you want to do. Roll a number of d6s determined by the level of the skill you have. Okay, got it. If the sum of your roll is higher than an opposing roll, the thing you wanted to happen happens. Okay, GM gets to oppose the roll their own set of dice. At start, you only have one skill. Do anything, 1. Okay, hey, I can do anything. If you roll all 6s, you get a new skill specific to the action, 1 level higher than the one you used, which means you get to roll 2d6. For every roll you fail, you get 1 experience point. Experience point can be used to change a die into a 6 for advancement purposes only. What does that mean? So this is from right here. Advanced purposes only means you can spend XP to gain a new skill by upgrading dice, but the narrative result of the action still stands as rolled. So basically, let's say you're rolling 3 dice, and it's 2, 6, 6. Okay, well, you've rolled your 6s, so you're fine. You're going to succeed, but you can change that 2 to a 6 to then up or to level up your stat. Okay? There's levels to this. This is bang for your buck. But look at, there are 6 rules, and they would fit nicely on a business card. One thing that there is not is a character sheet. Well, all you have to do is write your character name and do anything 1, and that's your character sheet. Do you have hit points? No. Do you have a backpack of stuff? No. But that can all be on the other side of the business card if you wanted to. Okay. All right, here's one that I am aesthetically very happy with. Dragon Fighter. Downloading my own game. I love it. Business card RPG. Place order. Maybe I can... Well, I guess... Okay. PDF. Okay. So, much simpler than my business card RPG. We've got 3 stats. Strength, agility, and magic. We've got HP, which is 2d6 times your level. We've got MP, which is 1d6 times your level. And this is in the theme of a 1989, I think, role-playing game for the old school Nintendo Dragon Warrior, where the main character, the only character that you play, has swords, shield, armor, and can cast spells. Can cast heal, can cast hurt, heal more, hurt more, something called torch, and I think like return back to the castle, something like that. So it's a simple game, so I wanted to capture the essence of that, and I think I did a really good job. On the front, you got your 3 stats, you got your equipment that you're carrying, you got your inventory, gold, level. If I had to do this over again, I would not put the 0 here. I would just leave it blank, but you could certainly do level 01, 02, 03. We do eventually cap off at, I think, 10. Okay, on the back of this business card are the rules, and it's kind of a lot. There's kind of a lot going on, but I think with the boxes and the tables, it's laid out much easier. So here we go. Stats start with 1d6. Level up, add 1d6 to a stat. I hate this empty space right here from a design perspective. I wish I could shorten this up somehow. So every stat's a d6. You can add a d6 to a stat when you level up. So you have 1, 1, 1, and then you would level up 2, 1, 1, etc. Eventually, you can have all your stats maxed. And the one downside of this is if you were to play with multiple players, there's no real uniqueness to the players. They'll all have the same stats. They'll all have the same magic spells. So that's a major downside. If I were running this for like a lengthy campaign, then I would have the gear have different criticals or different effects. Magic items, if you will. Okay. Pick any weapon and shield or just a bow. There is no bow in the Nintendo game. Here's what it does for damage. For a sword, we attack roll, whatever the attack roll is, plus your level. And you get an effect where you re-roll any 2. Okay. 1 is a critical fail. I guess this is where you get a little different. You can have different weapons, which, not that special. You could have a staff. Your attack roll is a -2. Interesting. Okay, it's been a while. So a staff is not made to attack. However, your staff lets your spells cost 1 magic point less. So I guess, all right, works. Your shield, -1 or -1 damage per level. Okay, all right. And your bow, your damage is whatever your attack roll is. However, it's -1d3 damage plus level received. Ooh, I am downgrading myself on this. I don't remember what that means. The effect, -1d3 damage plus level received. Don't know. Failure. I'll have to go back and edit it. I don't remember what that means. Gotta clean it up. Also hate that I have one word on a whole line. All right, let's see. Maybe it is explained someplace else. Roll dice based on stat, 1, 2, or 3. Highest dice equals your success and damage. Magic only refills with sleep in a safe place or with a potion. Okay, great. Here are the spells that you get. Level 2. Oh, see, I would swap these around. Spell name should be first, and then at what level do you get it? It's probably a horse apiece, but I was probably thinking from a level up perspective. Okay, at this level, I get this spell. But I think I would change it to what is the spell, then at what level do I get it? Okay. And that is it. All right. Yeah, this bow. I don't remember what this bow is. I don't know if I've graded myself on the other ones. I would give this aesthetically an A, but especially with that error. And I don't like I don't like that I have this, that each stat starts with 1d6 and I don't acknowledge that other places. So I would go a B-. There are more to this. There's the GM guide, which kind of gives how to level up, and bestiary, as well as kind of some advice that you can change dice successes as needed. Okay, so if your goal was, hey, I'm on a trip, I'm in the car, and let's play a role-playing game, I think you have a character in no time, but equipment, left hand, right hand, I guess that's sword. Pick any weapon and shield or just a bow. I guess it works. It needs to be cleaned up, needs to be tighter. I need to look at it from the lens of, if I was a complete stranger just picking this up, could I figure this out? And because you're not in my brain, it would be tough. All right, what do I got next? Roll them and score them. One of these times I'm going to remember to start my timer, because I don't know how long this goes. I have a 2-hour cap. All right, roll them and score them. I went over this not too long ago, but let's see. Here's the character sheet, and here are the rules. At first glance, disgusting. It is just a wall of text. Not good. All right. Character creation and gameplay. Players add 1d to any 3 different abilities. Check 1 box for each. Okay. Strength, speed, smarts, stability, social, sorcery, stealth, senses. Well, what do those mean? Do I know what those mean? Let's see. Nope. 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 Abilities. Here we go. Very last one. Let's see. Let's say you didn't know what stability is. Well, that is ranged combat, your balance, and large dexterity. That's a confusing term. That would be like gross motor skills, which is what I want to say. Then we have senses. Sight, hearing, touch, smell, taste. Okay, all right. Okay, got that explained now. Players add 1d to any 3 different abilities. Check 1 box for each. All right, so here they start with 2. So every stat gets 1d6. So real simple, you're going to pick what 3 you want to be good at, add a dice. All other abilities start at 1d. Glad I spelled that out. This is not marked on a character sheet until leveled up. Perfect, great. When trying to do something, roll a dice per GM for a given stat. Add them up and try to beat the difficulty number. If they beat the number, they may then spend AP to add a skill. Okay, well, do I mention AP anywhere? What does AP mean? Looking at my sheet. Character sheet, name, level, HP, MP, inventory. Okay, well, I'm glad that I have the difficulty here. Have to roll over an easy task is 4. So if you're unskilled in something, you can't even do something tricky. Which I like and don't like, I guess. Along the ley line, I think I misread it. I'll have to go back and check. I assumed that a low-level character like this couldn't even attempt a hard ability because your D4 step dice doesn't go that high. But I must not have read it. In the interview, I don't think it was explicitly stated, but I got the gist that you have to roll a 4 or higher to be successful. And so I could tweak that in here as well. Because that's kind of a feel bad that, I just can't. There's zero way that I can be successful at something tricky or hard because I'm a low-level character. You gotta give them at least the opportunity. Okay, what is AP? May add 1 dice from a failed roll and save it above. They may spend AP to add a skill. Pay points, pick 1. Points earned. 3 of a kind, 1. Okay, so I don't as far as I see, I don't mention AP anywhere. So that's a design flaw, design error. GM, my award. GM should say may award weapons, items, situations that add 1, 2, or 3 to the roll. When using any skill, if a player does not meet or beat the difficulty number, 1 dice from the failed roll is added to the bank. So I got to change that to that you can also meet the difficulty score. Banked dice may be exchanged for action points. Oh, okay. All right. Here we go. But I should then put parentheses that they're AP. I've talked about this in other systems I've reviewed, so I need to be critical of myself. Don't tell me that I can do something before you mention it's possible. So the example here is, don't tell me what AP is and how I can use it before you describe it to me. So I need to reorder that. But let's go over it. When using any skill, banked dice may be exchanged for action points. Action points can be used for 1 universal ability on page 1. What's a universal ability? That must be these here. Must be. Look I made this game and I don't even remember. Or used for specific actions found on the left of this page. Do I mention universal? I need to go back and tweak this. This is a D+. I am not happy with this. Once dice is placed in a pool, it cannot be removed until used for action points or chance. Chance? What is chance? All right, this is a D-. This is unplayable. I should take this. I'm not going to take it off, but I should take it off. I'm not going to, but I should. Ugh, disgusting. Now, in my defense, I'm one person. I'm one Joe Schmo in my basement with Ranger, my dog, next to me. I don't have an editor. I don't have somebody else that cares about any of this that I'm doing enough to read it over and be like, yo, you dumb. All right? But I'm an educated person. I should be able to figure this out. All right. So that is a D-. Roll them and score them. No bueno. What do I got next? All right. Those are the ones that are published on here. So let's go to my last 2 things, which should be right here. Okay. My easy, made-up role-playing game. I already know I need to make some tweaks to this, even though I already did recently spend some time giving it a version 2.0, I would say. All right. I'm giving this to my students to play, going into 4th grade, 5th grade kids. This is what I tell them. All right, tell me your real name. We'll come up with a character name later. Things I'm carrying, things in my backpack, we'll figure that out later. Here are the rules. You're going to roll 2d6 anytime you want to do something, except you're going to roll 3d6 at these things because you're really good at them. Now, looking at this, I said differently than what is worded on here slightly. And I think I need to just put in my brain like more simple, less words. I'll read it how it is. When I'm okay, roll 2d6 anytime you want to do something, except when I'm trying to do these things, I roll 3d6 because I'm good at blank blank. I should change this. Let me make a copy. Make a copy. Copy. Yeah, okay. I was going to rename it something else, but I won't. This should be roll 2d6 if you are... See, I don't even like this. If you are average... roll 2d6 roll 2d6 if you roll 2d6 when doing something you are average at. I don't like that, but I'm going to leave it. Roll 3d6 for these because I am good at... Why is that in red? Roll 3d6 for these because I am good at them. To him. Roll 2d6 when doing something you are average at. So looking at that, I'm like, well, what does that mean? Roll 2d6 and keep the highest number. Okay, but when doing something risky, roll 2d6. When doing something risky, roll 2d6. Keeping the highest. I've got these stars here that are interfering with my spacing. When doing something risky, roll 2d6, keeping the highest. That's like the main rule. Roll 3d6 for these because I am good at them. Roll 1d6 for these because I am bad at them. Okay. Something that is not hitting the way I want are my criticals, and it breaks my heart. Things I can do when I roll a critical attack. This needs to get reworked. I have here when they roll higher than a 15. Well, what that means is for things that they're average at, they can never critical at. I tried to keep it simple, and I like this threshold amount, but I think that it should be a threshold for 3 dice, and I guess the threshold for 2 dice would be 12. So I just... Alright. Other things I would tweak. I like this. kids really understand that. There is no problem with them understanding the success flow. I would give more space here. Like, okay, here are your starting 12 hit points, but then give a line underneath where they can fill in more hit points. Like maybe bubbles or something, so they know that they're not just limited to that amount. Same thing for magic. So when they level up, they can grow and get more HP or MP, excuse me. Okay, something that I know I need to change, because when I was explaining this to my kids today, I'm like, oh, this doesn't quite make sense. So, attacking. Roll 3 dice if attacking with a weapon. If the highest dice is a 4 or 5, 4 or 5, 6. Okay, well, I'm dumb. Is a 4, 5, or 6. That means you hit. Let's deal some damage. With a two-handed weapon. I know I had this issue before. Damage. Where to put the word damage? Damage equals double your highest dice. A one-handed weapon. Yeah, see it. I need like another line that just says damage. Two-handed weapon, one-handed weapon. All right, thinking, processing. Two-handed weapon damage, double your highest dice. Okay. One-handed weapon damage, add up your 2 highest dice. Okay. Bow damage, not bolded. Add up your 2 lowest dice, but you can attack from far away. All right, what was the problem? Double your highest dice, add up your 2 highest dice. Bow, add up your 2 lowest dice. No, I guess I thought I had a problem, but I think that makes sense. Because I think it was like a heavy battle axe, or it was like a bow and a heavy crossbow. But it doesn't... Oh, maybe it was like a one-handed crossbow. Yeah, like a one-handed crossbow. Okay, yeah, let's do that. One-handed crossbow damage would be your lowest dice, but you can attack from far away, and you can also have a shield. Does that... No, that does not bump you to the next page. Okay, great. All right. Spells. Nobody has yet read this, where they can upcast their spells, use more points for a bigger effect, but we have also not had a combat yet. Almost, but they avoided it. And along the lines of spells, I gotta come up with a system where they have to choose their spells. They get like maybe 1 spell per level, but that also kind of limits them. And so I've just been saying, hey, there's 6 spells here. You can, or types of spells, you can cast any of them. I think if I were going longer term, in my, like, if I were playing this with my friends, I would definitely say you get like 1 spell a level. Yeah. Critical special things when you roll 15 or higher. I don't know how I feel about that. I kind of want to say 2d6. Let's see if we can figure this out. rolling 2 6s with 3d6. What are the odds? Okay, I looked up this earlier. I think this is it. As you can see, it's very easy to get doubles using 3d6. 44% chance. Out of those, 1 out of 6 will be critical failures. Our success is 7.4% of all 3d6s will be critical failures. Probability of getting doubles 6, 6, 5, 6. To get the probability of getting a double, we calculate the odds of not getting any doubles, which is 6, 6 times, which this means all 3 dice have different values. Then we subtract. Oh my god. Okay. Math is so hard. The odds of crit failure on triple. If it's 7.5% for any doubles, I don't want that. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to figure out if I can make double 6s a critical or double 1s a failure out of any of the 3 dice when rolling 3d6. I've done a bit of math, but I'm just not that good at it. Nor do I even know if this is a good idea. Okay, so it must be 7.4% is pretty good value for a critical success, since d20 is 5% of all rolls will be criticals. One thing I don't like, though, is that it doesn't look right. In Nominee uses a 3d6 system, and they crit on 111 or 666. Granted, the probability is really small, but it just looks a lot better. Okay, yeah, so 7. So I think I'm going to change it. I think that makes sense. Criticals are when you roll 2 6s. Okay, and I'm going to change that to red. I'll go back and tweak these later. Okay, I like that. So when you are average at something, 2d6s, the chances have to be lower of getting 2 6s. Okay, let me figure that out. Chances of rolling with 2d6. Probability 3%. Okay, all right. Yes, confirmed change. I like it. Okay. Grading myself on this one. B. Don't love it. We're getting there, though. We're getting there. Okay. Not listed on drivethrurpg, something I talked about that I said I was going to post, and I never did, is a plot, a place, and a problem. And as much as I love those words, a plot and a problem is kind of the same thing. So I think I need to just change it to like it could just be a place and a place with a problem. I think that's what I had. A place with a problem. And it's kind of a Mad Lib, and I was inspired by Lasers and Feelings to give a table that you can roll on, and here's the Mad Lib with a terribly crude 5-room dungeon map. You have to definitely use your imagination, but you start at the entrance, you're in hallway 1, you go to this room where there's a riddle, there's hallway 2, hallway 3, boss room, locked room, etc., and with a description that goes along with it. Again, this is mostly for my students, that they can make an adventure. And once they make an adventure, they've got an example to go from, and they can start making their own how they see fit. Here I have a D10 for these, but if I had to go back, I would probably make these D6s. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8. Heath, you are bad at this. But things that they're rolling for is a villain that is trying to, because they want, the adventure starts in the town of, and the adventurers will travel to the villain's lair located at. That needs to be shortened a lot. The villain is located at. And the adventurers will earn gold, treasure, a broken curse. See, like, what does that even mean? A castle. Oh, that'd be sweet. Forgiven crimes. Well, what if they didn't commit crimes? So I give this, I don't know what I just graded myself, but I'm regrading myself. This would probably be a C+. C+ needs to be tweaked. Here we go. All right. There is Roll Around, Find Out Publishing. I've got one other one in the works. I've talked about it, but this is my pocket mod, which is based on what you just saw, my easy made-up role-playing game with some tweaks. But as you can see, I am bad at this, and I need to go through everything I've made and make it better. It is what it is. Hopefully you learn something. Hopefully you go and you make your own game. Make a tinny dungeon. Make something simple. Go look up that roll for shoes. Go look up the one-page dungeon. You don't have to make a game system. Make up an adventure. Go do something creative. See you in the next episode. Later.